Cristela. Are you familiar with Cristela? She's super funny. I met her last year. Actually, went to her comedy show, and I messaged her off my comedy page because she didn't have like a meet and greet at the end, which I was really bummed about. And I messaged her off my comedy page, and I was like, "Is there any way like I can meet you in person?" As the show ended, and we were walking out, and I'm like, "Is there any way I can meet you in person?" And she replies, "Yes, come back in to the." Yeah, so I went back in, and security stopped me, and they were like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "She said I can meet her." And they're like, "Show me the proof." And I showed them my messages with her on Instagram, and they're like, "Okay, fine." So I went back inside, and I was able to meet her, and we just had like a deep conversation about how it is like female comedian and being a Latina and comedian, and it was just very inspirational and amazing that like she didn't like she was like, "Yeah, sure, come back and meet me in person." So I was like, "Okay, like,
nice.
yeah."
And what's one thing that you recall from that conversation, if you don't mind sharing? Something that you're like, okay, that I can apply this to myself, or
one thing that she shared with me was, wow, I was like, wow, like you're so beautiful. Like, and she shared with me that she feels like she has to dress down in the comedy world because sometimes she's not taken as serious, like being a female comedian. She's not taken as serious as when she's dressed up. They're just like, oh, she's just like a pretty girl or whatever. But when she dresses down, she's taken more serious in the comedy world. And I'm like, I've noticed that a lot in some comedians, female comedians, that they dress down a lot.
You know what?
So,
you bring up a good point. You're right. Because I think if they're highlighting their appearance to look more beautiful, etc., I think it's taken away from the actual comedy itself. That's a very, very good point. I've never really thought about it like that.